All right, hello and welcome to That's the Point. We are once again here to talk about construction positioning technology. My name is Corey Meyer, as you can see, joined by my colleague, Jeremy Horn. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good because today we are going to jump into the world of layouts. And that's actually more of a discussion today, but it's something that commonly comes up. And today we are going to talk about reflective foils. Now, in the normal course of layout, we're very familiar with all using prisms, whether it's the MT1000 like we have above Jeremy's head, or even like passive prisms or standard like regular like job site, like single peanut frac prisms, all those things. There's tons of different options, but today we want to talk about the least talked about of all these, which is the actual reflective foil targets. And so we wanted to quickly talk about maybe the application and when you can use the reflective foils. And then we're going to get into the little thing you want to know in FieldLink before you shoot to a foil. And then finally, we'll just talk about some of the basic mechanics of the actual foil itself. But Jeremy, to jump into this, we see some definite applications where reflective foils make sense.
Right, absolutely. So, the most important thing we always have to do when we get to the field is do our setup, set up our instrument, tell it where it's at in the field, and we use that using control points. That could mean shooting to a prism that is set up somewhere on the edges of the job site on a monument, or more commonly, our prism that's on our pole and we physically go walk to a point. Grid line intersection, pin in the ground, and we go walk out to it. Especially when those points get very far and we're having to walk, doing that multiple times a day can, take a lot of time. So what these foils do is allow us to basically just put them wherever we want. So once we've done a good setup and we're happy, we actually can collect these in as additional control points after we've put them in locations that make it easier for us to work.
Accessible and easy to see and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And that could mean, real far away so that we don't have to walk, or even on a crowded deck sometimes just, having to go back to the same grid line points. If we put these up on columns as we move and reset up, it just makes it very easy because we can just get behind the robot, sight into these, and shoot 2-3 points within a few seconds without ever even having to move from.
And you can, and like you said, it's great because you can get them up and out of the way, out of the line of sight a lot of times, whereas you don't want to be raising a rod up that high to take a prism measurement anyways.
Right, absolutely. So really just eases the setup struggles and time, and especially if you're having to do multiple setups per day and move a lot.
It makes sense, and it's a super quick and honestly cost-effective way of doing these foils. Aren't the most expensive things in the world, and we'll talk about that at the end. Now, in FieldLink, there is one little thing you have to do to make sure that you're getting the best EDM measurement when we're talking about shooting to a foil.
That's correct. So, typically when we're shooting to a prism, we're in prism mode, which we know we have prism and laser mode. If we want to do a setup or layout with laser mode, we can. But sometimes if we try to do that with a foil, the EDM is measuring a little bit differently, and especially at close ranges, it kind of wants to throw it off and it'll fail. So in FieldLink, we actually have a setting in our prism settings, and if we look here down at the screen, we can go to that. So we go up to our prism icon up at the top left, brings us to our prism setting. So we see here it's on the MT1000. If we go to the bottom drop down and select reflective foil, and then you'll see that picture there. And, rod height doesn't matter in this case because it's going to be at whatever elevation we set it at.
I love when menu items do what they say they're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
Select a reflective foil, shoot to a reflective foil.
Exactly. So it's pretty self-explanatory there. And then it just makes, like I said, it just tells the robot. It's a little bit different in the way it's measurement. I'm not smart enough to know what that exactly it's doing, but it will help you in those measurements.
And then moving forward, like if you want to, obviously when you purchase an RTS, they do send you a couple of foils with it, but that's it. Now, does it matter moving forward what kind of foils you use, or is there any kind of specs or anything to keep in mind?
No. At that point, really, we just need to be able to measure and reference back to a very accurate, specific point is really all we're dealing with. These foils just give us something highly reflective with some nice little crosshairs here to line up to get really accurate. So there's a lot of different ones you can find online, on Amazon, things like that. Any of those will work.
It's good to know. So you don't have to have luxury foils.
No.
And of course, if you have any questions about this and using and leveraging that, you're leveraging foils in your workflow, reach out to your local Building Point representative, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and pointers. Fold again?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on That's the Point.